Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. Recently I stumbled across a collection of photos on Instagram that depict Serge Gainsbourg being interviewed, smoking a cigarette and talking about love and life. Serge Gainsbourg, if you do not already know, was a very famous French musician, actor, and filmmaker that was in a very famous relationship, 12-year-long relationship, with Jane Birkin, also an actress and singer. The two are kind of a quintessential couple of the 60s and known for their unbridled passion for one another, and you can tell in these numerous photos of them that have surfaced and have been passed around through the internet. The triptych of screenshots from this interview were posted on my Instagram a few weeks ago. If you follow me, you'll probably remember. And on that post, I had commented that the words that he said, the things that he said in this interview really did something to me. Just a few simple sentences seemed to enlighten me. Serge says, as beautifully as a French artist can, "You have to live your loves in the moment, because otherwise they're doomed. You have to live every moment dangerously." The full 30-second video of this interview, this small portion of the interview, will be linked below if you'd like to see it. This is definitely not the first time that somebody has said something like this, but the way that he surmised love and life and curiosity and a sort of childish willingness just kind of made things click for me. It often takes the right person at the right time to say something so simple yet so monumental like that. Serge to me is not just saying live in the moment, but he's saying to remain brave throughout your entire life, to continue to take the risk of living in the moment, to follow fleeting things. Serge believes in maintaining a kind of innocence almost, or a blindness, so to say, all your life, no matter the consequences. Today, I can really sense fear. Not in everyone, but a large portion of the population is frightened of love, of vulnerability, of the messiness and complexity that comes with loving somebody. We've got our guards up, thorns shown. Some of those among us just want to live selfishly and simply for a while. They don't want to consider another person in their day-to-day life. Some don't want the monotony of one partner, of someone demanding loyalty and restraint. However, more to the focus of this video, many of us exhibit fear and apprehensiveness because we are wounded. We do not want to love again because it can go so wrong. It can go so badly so quickly because it can rot slowly over time. A lover can become a complete stranger in seconds. We cower into isolation, or even worse, dispassionately addressing the need to appease our sexual appetites. But I would argue that the propensity for pain that comes with gambling in love is no excuse to not allow yourself to indulge in love. Knowingly going into relationships and loving someone to pieces each and every time with your whole heart is what Serge Gainsbourg calls dangerous. And now that's very sexy. That sounds very sexy coming from him. But in the most innocent way, it's just a kind of optimism. It's hope. I would argue he is right to say that this is the only way to live, because without the blindness and the dubiousness of hope, nothing would ever come to fruition. Hope is a variation of determination, if you really look at it. And it's a catalyst. It's the step you take just after dreaming. Personally, I would take the pain time and time again if it meant that I could feel this deep, disorienting plummet of love. Love is chaotic by nature. It's not meant to be rationalized. I mean, at times it's literally been labeled as a socially acceptable form of insanity. So when you know that love is present between you and another, you cannot let your rational mind try and sabotage such a unique, mutual, rare sensation. To love dangerously, to live dangerously, is to set aside your doubts and your inhibitions, especially in the very beginning of any choice, any relationship. Now, it's important to note here that today the wounded person will use rationalization as the standard method to avoid pain. In conversation, you don't really hear, I don't want to get hurt again. It's more along the lines of, it's too much effort and you don't know what will happen in 5 years, or what happens if I put all this effort in for so long and nothing comes of it. I hear this all the time, and I hear it from people who are younger than me, and it upsets me. It's discouraging. I look at people like that in awe. I almost want to interject because it sounds so, not that it sounds silly, but it just sounds sad. It sounds hopeless. I just feel like it's so insulting to hear such words used to confine the idea of love. I mean, how do you even put love in such confines like that? There's no time frame for love. I really have to ask, what do people today even think love is? In the comments, I'd honestly like your answers. I would like to know, I'd like you all to tell me what you think love is and what you think others mistake love to be. Have at it down there. I really want to know. Anyway, personally, I do not feel that we can look at love, relationships, any of our endeavors, especially in youth, in that way. Or slowly we'll just become lazy and we will lose interest in the very things that breathe life into us. I've talked about this in a video not too long ago. This type of fear, this kind of receding into comfort and safety will lead to stagnation or worse, regression. There's nothing good about just staying in your safe zone all the time. Sure, it's safe there, but like, are you happy? Are you truly happy? Or do you just not know about the world that exists beyond that? Without risk, without hardship, the human drive ceases. We've talked too in the past on this channel about how difficult it can be to find a good lover, let alone someone to love. So when a person does finally show up, why would you turn away? Why would you hold back? Like, especially in today's day, you don't know what is gonna happen. Let go of the reins, and no matter what miserable ends it could lead to, go into it blind, like it's the first time, every time. Love like a child. Serge says to live every love in the moment. Those words are paramount because he's addressing time here. Stop considering time. That will ruin you as a person in every way, especially in creative matters, and especially in love. No past, no future, no logic, no reason. I don't want to hear all this garbage about all the lost time or wasted time with a person. You should always look back on a momentous love in your life, if you've had one, that is, with gratitude, no matter how it ended, no matter how painful it was. This is obviously excluding abusive relationships, just saying. I feel like I need to put that out there. Honestly, be grateful for the fact that you were able to find love at all, because some people do not even have that luxury from their own family, let alone another person out there in the world. Stop using time or time frames as an excuse for your apprehensiveness or fear of being wounded again. In matters of love, it's always going to be a gamble. People change over time. You don't know what's going to happen ever. But as you pass through a few people, let's say, remember that you always have your experiences, good and bad, and you can learn from your mistakes so as to not make the same ones repeatedly, but never turn down a new experience, a new kind of love. Don't let fear warp your sense of curiosity. There's one more thing to say before I close everything out here. It is important to note, and I think we have all experienced this, that wounded people can have very dangerous tendencies. Some people are not ready for love. This video is not saying to just jump into it recklessly in the sense like going from boyfriend to boyfriend, girlfriend to girlfriend, and not being able to be alone like I've talked about on this channel all the time. I'm just saying you should definitely take time to heal and to know who you are before you link up with another person, before you fall in love with another person, because love is also a way of diminishing your individuality a little bit. So you need to be pretty strong before you go into a relationship again. So I just need to say that first. because I don't want to be the one here to encourage everybody to go out into the world and just fall in love with every person they meet because they need another body next to them all the time, because they are wounded, because they need someone to take care of them. That's not what love is. However, having that set aside, do live and love dangerously, or you're doomed to the most mediocre existence imaginable. Be bold, be brave, be forever willing. Never stop believing in love, even as you age. Look upon each new love as a new, small little world for you to explore. Another person, of course, that you can share yourself with, and in that case, you yourself become new again in their eyes. Don't let fear push you into comfort and the mundane. Let fear guide you. Let pain be but a sensation, and each moment of pleasure should be locked up in the grand museum of your mind where you can peruse at your leisure. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I just want to say too that a lot of these videos may seem like I'm telling people how to live, but I should remind everybody too that these videos are just as much of an affirmation for me as they are possibly a lesson for you guys. I write these scripts for me as much as I do for everyone else. But yeah, please leave your comments below. I really want to know the answer to that question that I posed about in the middle of the video. I would love to know what you guys think. Please do not forget to like and subscribe as always, and I will see you guys next week. Goodbye.